Mic check 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Etobicoke Junior Dolphins would like to celebrate and honor Central York Panthers forward Cheyenne DeGear. DeGear was a member of Team Ontario Red who won the 2024 National Women's Under-18 Hockey Championship last week in New Brunswick. To honor Cheyenne, we invite 5 of the Etobicoke Junior players who were teammates with Cheyenne last week. They are Sydney Sawyer, Riley Sorokin, Sophia Ismail, Lexi Bertelson, and Rachel Pickett to present Cheyenne with a framed team celebratory photo. Congratulations everyone for bringing the championship title back to Ontario.
And with that, we welcome you back inside the Ford Performance Center in Etobicoke, Ontario, as we welcome you to another presentation of Etobicoke Dolphins Junior Hockey here on YouTube Live. Thomas Mercier alongside Chris Sinclair. The Dolphins coming off of a huge win, one of their biggest wins of the season yesterday afternoon, coming back from a 1-0 deficit to defeat the Burlington Barracudas by a 3-1 final. They now look to make it a perfect 3-3 week as they take on in a rematch against the Central York Panthers. Chris, it was an exciting effort yesterday for the Dolphins, riding high on a big win against Burlington. They go up against a Central York team that they picked up a 6-1 win over on Wednesday. You got to imagine the Panthers are hungry to get the revenge here this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. They're looking for some revenge, but we're going to actually have a chance to see, can Etobicoke continue to dominate on the defensive side. Yesterday, that was one of the highlights of the game, was watching them and their defensive prowess. It was an incredible game for them, limiting Burlington to single-digit shots every period of the game. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a fantastic effort all around for the Dolphins. A bit of a slow start, I would say, in the first period, but then after that, they really turned up the intensity, and that's why they came away with that 3-1 win here yesterday afternoon. And like Chris mentioned, single-digit shots every period for Burlington. Etobicoke outshooting them 40-17 over the course of the game yesterday. No penalties for the Dolphins either, so a complete clean sheet aside from giving up one goal on 17 shots. But they go up against the Central York team who, as we mentioned, are looking for revenge here this afternoon as they were dominated 6-1 on their home rink back on Wednesday evening. So they look to turn the tide here against the Dolphins. Just going over some of the key players to keep an eye on as having a fantastic season is Cheyenne DeGear, a commit of St. Lawrence University. Currently ranked 9th in points with 9 goals and 9 assists for 18 points. You also have Erica Buckley, who has been fantastic. 8th in power play goals this season with 3 on the year. Still looking to get more than 1 shorthanded goal this season. Has been a power play specialist, so with those 3 power play goals, 9 goals on the season for one Erica Buckley. Central York, if they pick up a regulation win here this afternoon, they will potentially jump Barrie for 7th in the OWHA U22 Elite Division. So obviously Etobicoke looking to avoid dropping out of first place potentially. They are now in sole possession of first. They have the same amount of points as the Ottawa Senators, but have those in with 2 games in hand. So advantage Etobicoke going into today's action. As I mentioned, Central York just 1 point behind the Barrie Sharks. A regulation win would jump them in the standings and could potentially get just behind the Mississauga Hurricanes, who have 32 points in 12 games. So they wouldn't be able to pass them, but they can match their point total as Mississauga would have 6 games in hand heading into action here this afternoon. An outstanding outcome from Lily Prendergast yesterday afternoon. As I mentioned, only allowing 1 goal on 17 shots. She was absolutely fantastic, picking up her 8th win of the season. Also, speaking of fantastic, all 3 goals that Etobicoke scored. First, they had Riley Sorokin on the power play, scoring her 3rd power play goal of the season with a wicked wrister going upstairs on the netminder Mackenzie Ferguson. Then Emma Beauchamp and Sophia Ishmael rolling the highlight reels on their own with a couple of great individual efforts to get Etobicoke that humongous 3-1 win here yesterday afternoon. They are looking for their 14th win of the season. They are also the top scoring team in the league. 84 goals, which is absolutely fantastic numbers for them. Also the best goal differential of plus 66. So Chris, just based off of those stats with how well they have scored and how well they've kept the puck out of the back of their own net, it's fair to say, all personal bias aside, that this is arguably one of the best defensive teams, dare I say, in all of Ontario.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, and I know I mentioned it yesterday on the broadcast as well, but one of the things that Etobicoke is known for is their defense. Bukovich loves his defensive structure. It shows every game, and one of the things is obviously good defensive structure leads to great goals, and we saw that again yesterday.
Speaking of Bukovich, want to send a special happy birthday shout out to Joey's mom, Michelle Bukovich, celebrating her birthday this afternoon. I know she's tuning in from home, so Michelle, happy birthday to you. Glad you can be spending your Sunday afternoon here with us as we are just moments away from our lineup introductions. Want to mention that Etobicoke wearing their special, beautiful gray alternate jerseys with the blue and white trim, while the Central York Panthers wearing their white with red and gold trim, similar to the Florida Panthers of the National Hockey League. We'll now step up for your player introductions to National Anthem. We'll have your starting goaltenders right after the break. Central York and Etobicoke, it should be a good one here on a Sunday afternoon from the Ford Performance Center.
Welcome everyone to today's OWHL Under-22 Elite Division game between Etobicoke Junior Dolphins and today's opponent, the Central York Junior Panthers. Our game officials are referees Abigail Perot and Tara Ray. On the lines we have Carly Jewell and Jillian Allen. Today's third lineup for Central York. At goal, number 6, Avery Johnston. At forward, number 87, Cheyenne DeGear. At forward, number 91, Clara Williams. On defense number 47, Ashley Miner. On defense number 65, Clara Liu. And in goal number 29, Samantha Whittle. Coach Stephen Dempsey. The starting lineup for your junior Dolphins: at forward number 41, Ryland Haslam. At forward number 29, Emma Beauchamp. At forward number 43, Adriana Milani. On defense, number 4, Taylor Scott. On defense, number 8, Mia Venucio. And starting goal number 32, Maya Saint-Pierre. Coach Joel Butkovich. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
National anthems in the books, which means we are ready to roll on a Sunday afternoon here in Etobicoke. The Dolphins and the Central York Panthers taking on one another in the rematch of Wednesday's 6-1 thumping at the hands of Etobicoke. This is a Central York team that is hungry for a big win on the road here this afternoon. Today's starting goaltenders in net today for the visiting Central York Panthers is Samantha Whittle, a 3-2 record on the season with one shutout in those 5 recorded games, a 2.11 goals against average, and a save percentage of .926. And at the other end, for Etobicoke, it's the Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario native Maya Saint-Pierre, 3-1 on the season with one shutout, a 1 goals against average, and a .924 save percentage. Cheyenne DeGear and Emma Beauchamp, the respective leading goal scorers for both sides, take the opening draw. And with that, we are underway from the Fort Performance Center. Glad you could be spending your Sunday afternoon here with us. Thomas Mercier and Chris St. Clair taking you through this one. Now here's a quick chance for Beauchamp with a shot. That one just fluttering wide of the net. That comes back to the right-hand boards. Nice hold at the line there for Scott. Gives it across. And now Haslam able to send it back down low. Or check that, pardon me, Mia Venucio with that play. Now sent down low as Haslam trying to cycle it in front, trying to set up Adriana Milani, but it's picked off and moved out by DeGear. Now she loses it at center. Milani back the other way with Beauchamp going to the net. Milani with a beautiful move into the zone. And a great stop, the first one of the game for Samantha Whittle, and probably the best one she has made so far. And now a 2-on-1 here for Central York. Coming the other way is DeGear. Centering feed, trying to set it up for Kira Johnson, who goes crashing into the boards as the Union College commit could not quite get a piece of it. Now Etobicoke able to move it out with a minute gone in the opening frame. Milani being watched on carefully here by Abigail Pack. But now the Dolphins move it up the left side. Played on the stick of Bertelson. Bertelson trying to go right through the middle, trying to set up a streaking Rachel Piggott, but she couldn't collect it cleanly. Now Central York with a chance to clear it again. Up the left side, push ahead by Alessia Stoikos. Sending it back into the corner. Now Sadie Sandilands back to get it. Will now play it ahead for Piggott. Up the left wing, just out of the reach of Lexi Bertelson, the Boston University commit, soon to be a Terrier at BU. Had a chance to chat with her dad just before the game. Could not be in attendance for the game yesterday, unfortunately, but he is here today, taking in this one for the Finns. Now wheeling through the middle, Sophia Ishmael, who scored the insurance marker and yesterday's big win over the Burlington Barracudas. Across the rink it goes now, controlled and moved up by Mia Venucio. Venucio with a nice move at the line. Another nice move cutting into the face-off circle. Lets a wrister go, and that one just missed the net wide. Venucio with a couple of great moves, but unfortunately cannot connect it on net. Picked up behind the net by Claire Liu. Battle for it on the side of the goal. Comes back to the high slot. Scott throwing it back down low. Was looking to chase after it was Vakari, but couldn't get there in time. Back into the zone by Erica Buckley, who's up to 9 goals this season, 3 of which have come on the power play. Van Volsen able to send that one back in and get a line change for Etobicoke. 2:35 gone in the opening period. We are still scoreless here in the early stages on a Sunday afternoon. Out in front, unable to drive the net there was Skylar Rushpler, who's playing in her 3rd game with Etobicoke. Funny enough, she dressed in her first game for the Dolphins against the Central York team on Wednesday. She also dressed yesterday, has 1 point in her first 2 games, also a native of Sault Ste. Marie. Beauchamp with a nice move in the line. She also scored a highlight reel goal yesterday, was the eventual game winner, as a matter of fact, which made it 2-1. Mossy back at her own blue line, got a button hook back at the line, trying to get away from Avery Johnston. Now played up the wing as Whittle coming out of her net to play it. Her backup this afternoon, Isabel Wynot, a commit of Harvard University. Puck sent down the distance. Racing back is going to be Sadie Sandilands, and she will get there for the icing call with 3:27 gone here in the first period. Not quite the pace that we saw yesterday, Chris, but a really good chance for Etobicoke early in the period.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm noticing early on. Is great on Etobicoke to start so strong, aggressive forecheck. I also want to give a shout out to Mossy, who had a great read on that 2-on-1. That's the reason why that shot didn't get off.
Rachel Pega going to be asked to step out, so in comes the Penn State commit, Sophia Ishmael. Face-off won by the Dolphins. Sent down low, bank play off the boards, and it's in! An innocent dump in. Sadie Sandilands threw it off the end boards. Whittle caught out of position, and the Dolphins get a gift to make it 1-0.
I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't see that one coming off at all. That was a great bounce, obviously, for Etobicoke. Did not see that coming one bit at all, but great start for the Dolphins. Obviously, they've been playing really aggressive thus far, and it may have been an odd bounce, but they'll take it.
It looked like Sadie Sandilands got the last touch on it, as again, that one just took a friendly bounce off the boards for the Dolphins, and it ends up behind Whittle, who is out of position, and the Dolphins are up 1-0 here in the early stages. And it is going to be Sadie Sandilands that does pick up the goal, so that is her 2nd of the season as the Carstairs, Alberta native puts her Finns up 1-0 here early in the first period. Now here's Lexi Bertelson in the corner. Round the net she goes. Surveying her options. Has an option in Sawyer at the blue line, but she turns it over. Now it's going to be moved out by Amy Clements. Clements firing it in on the forehand, looking to chase it down, but Sophia Ishmael with a great hustle back will beat her to the puck. What a great hustle from Ishmael to get back and able to keep Clements from chasing the dump in. Now Ishmael having a contest here with Clements again at the laid off side against Etobicoke. They'll have to come back to center, and they will do just that. Alicia Stoikos up the left wing, played in by Kira Johnston. She'll look to chase it down, but Venucio with a good pick off the top of the glass, and back to center it comes. Now tied up there is Stoikos, but now going to be fired back in by Abigail Pack. Pack will look to chase after, but it's cut off by Taylor Scott. Her parents in town as well here for the weekend from Lake St. Louis, Missouri, coming all the way up from the States. And she is also recently committed to Merrimack College. Was just announced earlier this week, so congratulations to her. Elizabeth Janoski crossed the line, lost the handle on it, now comes back to the right wing as the Panthers doing a good job of keeping it alive. Here's an opportunity for Janoski, trying to cut through the middle, lost the handle on it, and now a chance for the Dolphins to move it out, courtesy of Stonehill College commit Spencer Vicari, able to play back into the zone and get a quick change for Etobicoke. Rega Flint up the left wing, and ill-advised pass now picked up by the Dolphins, and now a 2-on-1 into the zone. Here's a shot coming from Rushpler, and Whittle able to recover, making a good save as nearly getting her first in the U22 Elite Division. Skylar Rushpler, who has been playing some great hockey since getting in her first game on Wednesday. Great opportunity there, probably her best scoring chance so far
Absolutely it was, and that was also the best sequence we've seen so far from Central York. So a little bit of sustained pressure on there didn't lead to a goal, but also a really, really good scoring opportunity, and now we're back at the other end of the ice.
Etobicoke back on the attack. Adriana Milani with a couple of moves. Cuts in the bottom of the faceoff circle. Tried to be cheeky going upstairs, but Whittle able to hug that post and get the glove save as Whittle doing a good job of bouncing back after giving up that errant bounce in the corner, having to make a couple of really tough saves as her defensive teammates having a bit of a hard time keeping Etobicoke at bay. But again, Chris, this is a Dolphins team that has been cycling all week long and arguably played their best 2 periods of hockey last afternoon in that win against Burlington. This is just a much different looking Etobicoke team than we have seen in weeks past. Now battle for the puck. This is going to be thrown back in, and it's going to be thrown back behind the goal. Nice play there by Whittle to rim it around the boards. Goes all the way back, and now it's going to be brought in by Zoe Lee. Back to the line, just out of the reach there of Mackenzie Cote. Look out. Central York nearly caught with too many men there. Is this going to be sent back down the ice? And play will carry on here as it's now going to be pushed up the right-hand side. Liu unable to reach after it. Bertelson will race for it. Bertelson 1-on-2 into the corner. Getting down in front, right on the money, and a big shot there by Sadie Sandilands, who almost got her second of the afternoon. But Whittle denying her this time around. What a great pass from the corner, and nobody touching Sandilands, but Whittle gets the last laugh.
Yeah, and just to go back just a moment with in terms of the defense, being able to chat with Joe Bukovich yesterday, as well as a number of the players, that was one of the big things that they mentioned, was just how proud they were about the defense they played yesterday. They're bringing that to this game as well.
Battlefront on the right-hand side as 7 minutes have gone here in the opening period with the Etobicoke up 1-0, courtesy of Sadie Sandilands' second goal of the season. Pass out in front, right to the high slot. Bertelson spins, tries to throw it towards the goal. That one blocked by a skate in front. Now falling to the ice there was Ishmael, but she does keep the play going. Now sent all the way back into the Etobicoke zone as Sandilands will come back for it. Sandilands, nice backhand pass, able to set it up for Mossy. Bad turnover in the middle though. DeGear sending it towards the net. St. Pierre down, but she's able to poke it away from her net. As Etobicoke doing a good job of supporting her as well. And it goes redirecting up into the Etobicoke bench, so that'll bring a stoppage in play. With 12:28 to go in the opening period, the first quality chance there for Central York, and it came off of a really bad turnover in the middle, but luckily St. Pierre whacking it away at the line.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a sloppy turnover there, but St. Pierre managed to make up for that, and then they were able to clear it out.
Kira Johnson has scored it out of the face-off circle, so in comes Abigail Pack. She does win it, and a quick shot here from Stoikos from the slot. That one is blocked by a Dolphins defender. Now here they come. Riley Sorokin, who scored a beautiful wrist shot goal. And now play whistle down on a high stick contact. Sorokin with that big wrist shot of hers yesterday. We saw that snipe from her for her 7th goal of the season. And you got to imagine she wants to try and make it back-to-back games with back-to-back goals.
Yeah, absolutely. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. Saw that play. Dropped to the floor. What a wrist shot.
Scott giving it across, and now fired up the wing. On the boards it comes. Whittle going to come out of her net to play it. Look out. A bit of pressure there from Grace Van Volsen. And now we're going to get our first penalty of the afternoon here as the arm goes up. And it looks like it's going to be against Central York as Abigail Pack will touch it. And for the first time this afternoon, the Dolphins are going to head to a power play on a triple goal that's going to be assessed here to Alessia Stoikos. The power play for Etobicoke has been red hot. 18 power play goals with 5 of them coming off of the stick of Megan Mossy. She leads the league in power play goals so far this season. As the power play went 1 for 2 for the Dolphins yesterday, let's see if they can go to work here on the advantage. Not a great start though, as Amy Clement's going to move it out. 4 short-handed goals for Central York this season. Here's a chance driving the net is Amber Esterbrooks, who has 3 of those 4 short-handed goals for Central York this season, nearly tied the game up with a short-handed goal. But now the Dolphins trying to get back on it, but Clara Williams trying to fire it out of the zone, able to send it up now for Esterbrooks. The recent commit of the University of Windsor, a future Lancer. Now taken behind the net by the Dolphins as they get reset on this power play, as they nearly coughed up a short-handed goal. Now Beauchamp speeding up the left wing, but unfortunately she is offside. That'll bring a halt with 41 seconds gone in the power play here for Etobicoke, their first of the afternoon.
Yeah, not a great start for them on this power play. They're going to reset now, bring out a new group of players. We'll see if they're going to be more successful on this second attempt.
Faceoff coming just outside of the Central York line. It's tied up, but pulling it out of the scrum and sent into the zone by Cheyenne DeGear, who is also a commit of St. Lawrence College alongside soon-to-be teammate Rylan Haslam, a native of Oshawa, just about an hour or so down the road from Etobicoke. Now picked up in the corner, Ishmael sending it up for Rachel Piggott. Recent commit for the University of Minnesota. Here she comes. She just missed the left-hand post. Tried to go block her side on Whittle, but just misfired it. Now the other way. Here's Zoe Lee on a short-handed chance. Flutters it over the net, and a penalty is coming to the Dolphins. Lee is going to pick up the puck, and there goes Whittle to the bench for the extra attacker on the delayed penalty. Thrown to the line. Flint can't make the play. This one, well, stopped just between the net line and the blue line. Delayed penalty still here against Etobicoke as Sawyer's going to come back. She will touch it. And with 26 seconds left in the Central York penalty, it's not going to be 4-on-4 before the Panthers get their first power play of the afternoon.
Yeah, that's a really tough break for Etobicoke. It was the back check that ended up causing that penalty. It's a real tough break, especially considering how strong they've been playing to start this game. We're going to see if some 4-on-4 action can open some things up here.
And it looks like it's going to be the alternate captain, Lexi Bertelson, who will be sent off. So 4-on-4 for the next 26 seconds, and then Central York will get their first power play of the afternoon. Etobicoke starts with the puck in their own defensive end as we're approaching the halfway point of period one. Sadie Sandilan's the lone goal scorer in the game so far, taking it around the back of the net. Rimming around the boards, back to the line, nearly held in there by Ashley Miner. Now Sorokin trying to come back at the line, but she is offside as she tried to recover, but unfortunately not there quite in time, and that'll bring a stoppage as we are now 5 minutes past the halfway point of period number one. 3 seconds to go in the penalty to Central York, and then the Panthers will get their first power play of the afternoon. Face-off coming just outside the Panthers line. Williams against Van Volsen, and it is won by Clara Williams, number 91 of the Panthers. Central York now on the power play is stepping out of the box is Stoico. She'll head straight to the bench to get the full power play unit out for Central York. They have 8 power play goals this year. Etobicoke with only 2 shorthanded markers on the season. Here's the captain, Cheyenne DeGear. Wheeling around to the corner, plays it back behind the net, sets it up there for Williams. Tried to cycle it back in front, and that one redirected back to the line. A good hole by Amy Clements, able to try and send it in further. They battle for it along the left-hand boards. A minute left in the penalty to Lexi Bertelson. Johnston gives it across quickly, redirected, front, they score! What a great setup play by the Panthers, and it's Elizabeth Janoski tapping it in for her first of the season. A power play goal for the Panthers ties it up at 1.
Yeah, really have to commend Central York on this. They really turned things around. They started off, obviously, a little bit on their back foot, but at the end of the day, that was a really great setup, really great play, really great goal. Power play, tie game, 1-1. Can't hate that.
Have to correct myself. That's actually Cheyenne DeGear with the redirect in front. Thought I saw 97, but it is 87. That is the 10th goal of the season for DeGear and her 3rd on the power play. And just like that, Central York makes Etobicoke pay for the penalty, and it is tied up at 1 apiece. But here come the Dolphins looking for a response. It's Beauchamp up the right side. Nice pass. Milani driving in. Forehand. Save Whittle. The rebound pops out. Another chance from the side of the goal. Milani could not whack that one in. Now played off the boards to the line. Almost held in there. But now it's going to be played back out up the right wing. Taken in by Kira Johnston. Able to fight off the back check of Mia Venucio. She now runs into an opponent. As Rushbler heading straight to the bench for a change. And now played up the right wing. Trying to wheel it into the zone is Piggott. Piggott driving the net hard on the forehand. And Whittle losing sight of the puck. Where is it? The official blows the play dead. And boy, Dolphins nearly getting the lead back as you saw the speed of Rachel Piggott. Loves to use that power of her to her advantage, but Whittle just able to get a bailout on that big stop.
Absolutely. What a drive to the net by Piggott. Outside in, almost got it by.
Offensive zone draw, one and controlled. Ishmael scores right off the face-off. Goes 5-hole on Samantha Whittle, and the Dolphins get the lead back on Sophia Ishmael's 7th goal of the season.
What a great goal on that, right off the face-off. Unbelievable to be able to come back, especially after going down, or rather getting tied and losing that lead. Now they're back up on top 2-1.
Sophia Ishmael just right off that face-off, took it up the left wing, found a hole. In fact, it was the 5th one as she goes 5-hole on Whittle. And it is now an Etobicoke lead for the 2nd time this afternoon. It's now 2-1 with 8 minutes to go in period number 1. Here's Ishmael again, looking to send it ahead for Lexi Bertelson, who's on the ice after her penalty resulting in a power play goal against. Comes to the right-hand boards. They continue to dig for it. Comes to the line, and Central York just able to clear it out. Sent back in by Ishmael as they will change up the line for the Dolphins. Left wing, here's Buckley. Trying to fire it in his own, directed off of a stick, and now Grace Van Volsen across the line, but a good defensive play by Rhea Flint breaks that one up for the moment. Sandilands colliding with an opponent. Leith throwing it to the right-hand side, racing to get after it is Claire Essex. Essex trying to send it in front. They battle for it. Lee getting it in front now for Annabella Van Berkel. Van Berkel's wrister deflected off of a stick. It looked like it might have caught Sorokin in the back of the leg. She's hobbling a little bit, but has to stay out there on this defensive zone try. Mackenzie Cody couldn't hold on to it. Now it's Lee back to the line for Clements. Clements taking a shot through traffic, nearly deflected in front as Essex tried to send it to the net. It's back to the line. Clements with a good hold. Rimming it around behind the net, picked up by Mossy with 6:45 to go in the period. Thrown off the boards, back to the line. Lee going to fire it back in on the forehand. Goes down into the corner as they will jockey for position. 6:35 to go now in the period. Sent back to the Dolphins blue line. It's going to be fired back in by Spencer Vicari, and that'll get a quick change for Etobicoke. Panthers looking to clear the zone. Nice pick off out of the air there on a good play by Skylar Rushpler. She comes across the line, drops off Beauchamp. Beauchamp getting it back down behind the net for Rushpler. Rushpler nearly run into there by Mackenzie Cody, and she almost went in for a bit of a nasty spill along the boards. Rushpler around the back of the net, trying to center it out in front, but a good defensive play made there by Clara Williams to break it up. Now 6 minutes left in the period. Etobicoke trying to get a bit of a cushion here, and now a penalty coming up against Central York. As tripped up in the corner was Rushpler drawing a penalty. St. Pierre to the bench for the extra attacker. A shot for the point. That one just goes wide off the stick of Venucio. Rushpler, bank play down into the corner, setting it up for Beauchamp. She's tied up along the boards by Williams. Now Piggin in there to try and help. Bank play back to the top of the circle for Scott. Taylor Scott waits, gives it back over. Now trying to get it back to the line. Venucio couldn't quite hold it in. Offside will be called against Etobicoke, but the Dolphins are heading back to the power play as Rushpler, good job keeping her feet moving, draws a tripping penalty, and it's going to be Amy Clement sent off on the trip. And here comes power play number 2 for Etobicoke.
Yeah, and she's looked fantastic this game thus far. And just to go back a moment as well with Piggott, she's assisted on both goals this game thus far. She's looked fantastic out there. We'll look to see if she can maybe score on this power play.
5:31 to go in the opening period. Power play number 2 for Etobicoke. Going to the line, it's Megan Mossy with 5 power play goals on the season, leads the entire OWHA U22 in power play markers. Ishmael button hooks at the top of the circle. Gain it over now and gets the return pass quickly across. Mossy one-timer! Had an open net to shoot at as Whittle was a little late in transition, but Mossy missed firing it wide of the net. Burleson, great play to get it to Piggott. She'll take it around the end wall. Piggott down to the far corner, 5 minutes to go in the opening frame. Mossy back to Piggott. Getting it down low, Bertelson. Bertelson, Karen pass, gets it back to the line for Mossy. Mossy trying to escape from Kira Johnson. She gets it down low for Piggott. Minute 15 left in the power play. Piggott tied up along the wall by Ashley Miner. Chance for Central York to clear off the boards, but not out. It's held in by Fiona Waddick. Now battle for the puck on the right-hand side. Back to the line. Waddick holds. Her shot deflected off of a high stick. Kira Johnson picks it up, trying to clear it off the boards, and she does manage to get it back to center. 55 seconds left in the power play for Etobicoke. Here's Megan Mossy, 1-on-3 into the zone. Mossy can't power through the middle. It's picked off by Pack. Abigail Pack fires it in, looking to chase after it is Janoski, who we thought opened the scoring, but it was indeed Cheyenne DeGear picking up her 10th of the season. Now driving the line with a nice power move is Grace Van Volsen. Riley Sorokin fanning on the pass, but does find Sawyer. She misfires it wide of the net. Was looking for maybe a deflection in front. Sadie Sandilands tied up in front of the Central York bench, spinning at the blue line, trying to fight off Abigail Pack. They continue to battle. 20 seconds left in the power play. Central York just can attempt to tie up the puck to kill off the remainder of this penalty, but now the official going to blow the play dead. But what a great effort from this Panthers penalty kill unit, tying it up perfectly along the boards, and now only have 13 seconds left to work with on this penalty.
Yeah, they've looked fantastic as well. I wanted to also just want to say that I like that Etobicoke came out here with Mossy right off the bat. As you mentioned, great on the power play. Start off strong.
Spencer Vicari unable to win the offensive zone draw. 10 seconds left in the power play for Etobicoke. This is their second of the afternoon. Grace Van Volsen tied up behind the net. Power play about to come to an end. And it will come to an end as Etobicoke is now 0 for 2 on the advantage. And we go back to 5-on-5 as Clements steps out of the box. Little stutter step in the corner. Sorokin trying to throw it down low as a Dolphin spilled in the corner. Play carries on as now Rhea Flint run into there by Grace Van Volsen, the Providence College commit. Now played up the wing by Clements. Going to be fired back in by Sydney Sawyer. That one takes a weird bounce. Looks like Rhea Flint actually stepped on the puck and soccer kicked it unintentionally out of the zone. And the Panthers will definitely take that as a long distance shot. Stopped by the stick of Samantha Whittle. Now through center, Annabella Van Berkel. Across the line she comes. And a penalty is coming up here. Looks like it's going to be against the Dolphins as Whittle was heading to the bench. The extra attacker and a hooking call is going to be assessed here, and it looks like it is going to be Sydney Sawyer. So here comes power play number 2 for Central York, who are 1 for 1 on the power play.
Absolutely, you see that power play coming this way. I mean, if you're sitting here, you're wondering how this is going to go. They've looked great on their first power play, Central York. Let's see if they can make it 2 for 2.
Their special teams have looked really good here in the early stages. 2 for 2 on the penalty kill and already 1 for 1 on the power play. This is a perfect special teams day for Central York. A power play goal could tie this one at 2. Let's see if they can get it, though. Flint can't hold it in front of the scorekeeper's area. Now it's Van Berkel. Back up through the middle. Annabella Van Berkel. She falls down, and another penalty is coming to the Dolphins. And now it's going to be a 5-on-3 for Central York. Another hooking call is made, and Joe Bukovich not happy with the penalty, but it is going to go against Emma Beauchamp. And now the Dolphins face their first form of adversity with 2:28 to go in the first. It's a minute 43, 5-on-3 power play for Central York. Cheyenne DeGear to take the faceoff to the left of St. Pierre. Tie up on the draw, won by the Panthers. Here's Clements across, one-timer, great glove save by St. Pierre, and sent back out by Etobicoke. What a stop by St. Pierre on that blast of a one-timer from the slot. And that'll buy the Dolphins some time. It's Mackenzie Cody. Cote getting a nice pass onto the left side for Clements. Clements tried to send that one down low but could not do so. Control now by Johnson from the high slot across. One-time cannon blast. And Cheyenne DeGear sent that one just wide as the Panthers captain within inches of tying the game. A minute left in the 5-on-3 power play for Central York. Battle for the puck in the corner, and the official going to blow the play to a halt with a minute 40 left in the first. 55 seconds left in the 5-on-3 power play for Central York. Boy, Cheyenne DeGear is the last person you want to leave open on a one-timer. Nobody covering her. She let off a beautiful shot, but luckily just flundering over the head of St. Pierre.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, dangerous out there every play. She made it look easy there again.
There's a reason she's the leading goal scorer, now picking up her 10th of the season. No longer time for the team leading goals with Erica Buckley, who also had 9 coming into the game. At the line, Mackenzie Cote taking a shot. That one is blocked in front by Lexi Bertelson, who's favoring her arm a little bit, but she's staying out there on this penalty kill because they need her desperately. Now here's DeGear from the top of the slot. Waiting, nice pass, gives it off to Cote, who shoots another block by Lexi Bertelson, and that just stays in the zone. What an effort on this shift, though, from Lexi Bertelson. Short-handed. And she is still out there making stuff happen. 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3. We're now in the final minute and sent down by the Dolphins. What a shift from Lexi Bertelson.
Absolutely grueling there. She took that shot. She stayed out there and just looked incredible. Great play.
16-second 5-on-4 now as stepping out of the box is Sawyer. This would be a huge penalty kill for Etobicoke. Liu with a hold at the line with 10 seconds left in the power play for Central York. Back in the middle, a chance for Vakari to clear. Can't quite do so, but the 5-on-3 is killed off. A massive penalty kill for the Dolphins, but here's a quick shot coming from Ashley Miner. That one's blocked. Backhand across the rink. Picked off by Beauchamp, fresh out of the penalty box. Beauchamp up the left-hand side. 15 seconds left in the period. At the line, Sadie Sandilands trying to send it back down low. Vakari lost a handle on it. Now 10 seconds left in the period. On the right side, Clara Liu couldn't clear the line, and now it's cleared back out, and that'll do it for the first period. 3 combined goals in that frame, 2 of which come off the stick of the Dolphins, scoring 2 unanswered. After opening the scoring was Cheyenne DeGear with her team-leading 10th goal of the season coming on the power play. But then Etobicoke getting 2 of their own right back. Sadie Sandilands tied it up, and then Sophia Ishmael giving Etobicoke the 2-1 lead after the first period.
And that ending that period, especially based off of you started it really strong. It kind of, for Etobicoke anyway, it started off really strong. Kind of fell apart a little bit there. To end that period so defensive with their known defensive structure, killing off those that 5-on-3. Great way to end the period. Great way to start the next period. Have to assume Bukovic is going to go to the room and remind them, hey, listen, remember what makes you a great team, and what makes you a great team is the great defense. Let's see how they come out in the second period.
And that's when we'll talk to you next in a few minutes' time. 2-1 Etobicoke lead over the Central York Panthers after the opening 20 minutes. We'll be back with the second period. You're watching Dolphins Hockey on YouTube Live.
especially considering we got 1%.
Welcome back inside the Ford Performance Center in Etobicoke. Thomas Mercier and Chris Sinclair here with you as we're getting set for period number 2. Etobicoke up 2-1 after the opening period of play after surrendering a goal to tie the game. St. Sandalins from Lexi Bertelson and Rachel Piggott at 16:27 made it a 1-0 Etobicoke lead, but then Central York scoring to tie the game up on the power play. Cheyenne DeGear from Mackenzie Cote, but then Etobicoke gets the lead back, courtesy of Sophia Ishmael from Lexi Bertelson and Rachel Piggott. Don't have the shot counter right now, but again, Chris, really solid period from Etobicoke. Started a little slow, did get the game's first goal, gave up the tying one not too long after, but then, hey, almost a minute later, they get the lead right back. What did you like in that period for both sides?
Yeah, so I mean, you have to, first of all, start with Etobicoke. They started the period really well, like you had mentioned, and that 5-on-3 penalty kill that they had to end the period, they have to be satisfied with the fact that they came away no goals against to end the period. From Central York's perspective, yeah, they started out a bit slow, but they really added some pressure and drew a couple of penalties there late in the period to get those chances. They're frustrating the defense on the Etobicoke side. They got to keep with that in order to be successful in the next period.
So 1 goal in that period coming from the Panthers. And again, that was Cheyenne DeGear with her team-leading 10th goal of the season. Looks like we're almost set to go here in period number 2 as both teams trading sides. As Etobicoke will now attack from right to left, and Central York from left to right. Cheyenne DeGear to take the draw to open up period number 2, as they have officially posted the shots after the first period, 11-17, I believe, in favor of Etobicoke. Thank you, Chris. And with that, second period is underway here at the Ford Performance Center. Played through the middle, going to be picked up by Clara Williams. Sends it up. Here's Cheyenne DeGear cutting the middle. She's taken down, and a penalty is coming to Etobicoke, as it'll be picked up in the corner, and a penalty shot is going to be given to Cheyenne DeGear. So DeGear with a penalty shot opportunity to tie the game. This is our first time seeing this weekend. My first time seeing it with Etobicoke. And DeGear is going to go one-on-one with Maya St. Pierre with a chance to tie this game for her second of the afternoon. Just 23 seconds into period number 2. So here we go, Cheyenne DeGear on a penalty shot to tie the game. She'll cut up the right side, right through the middle, protecting forehand. Pump fake move. Maya St. Pierre makes the save. And that will keep Etobicoke in the lead early in the period. St. Pierre following the puck the whole way. Big stop.
Yeah, not the player you want to see coming down the ice in this kind of situation, but great read on that play by St. Pierre. Looked fantastic. Read that play the whole way. Great lateral movement. Read it, and we're still at 2-1.
That is a huge stop from Maya St. Pierre. Definitely her biggest of the game, and it comes on the penalty shot to keep it at a lead for Etobicoke. But now here they come again. It's Cheyenne DeGear again. Up the left side, DeGear looking to redeem herself after failing to score on the penalty shot. It looked like it was going to be a power play for Central York, but based on the fact that she had a clear-cut break to the net and was taken down, not surprised a penalty shot was awarded. But now it's sent back down the other way, as it's going to be picked back up by Terry Wayne. Sent up the right side. That's going to be out of reach of DeGear, and icing will be assessed here to the Central York Panthers. So Lexi Bertelson and Rachel Piggott picking up the assists on both the Sandalins and Ishmael goals. So 2 points for those two aforementioned players. As again, Cheyenne DeGear with the lone goal for Central York from Mackenzie Cote back in the first period. Face off to the right of Whittle. It's won by the Dolphins, Ishmael taking his shot. That's blocked by a Panthers defender. Sawyer back in her own zone, being chased down here by Williams. Sent up the middle, Rachel Piggott. Sending it up for Bertelson as the 2 assists total players connecting here on a play. Drops it off for Ishmael. Now to Sadie Sandilands at the top of the circle. Can't send it towards the net. Sandilands looking down low. Perhaps it's redirected, bouncing in front of the net, and a little bit of almost deja vu there for Central York, as the first goal that was scored was a carom shot from an odd angle that went behind Whittle, and she almost saw that happen again. Now played into the corner for Rhea Flint. Rims it around the board, set a line but not out. Good hold there by Sydney Sawyer to send it back down low. 2 minutes gone in the second period with the Etobicoke still up 2-1. And now there's a chance. Ishmael with a wide open chance. Backdoor feed on the backhander. Tried to set up for Kari, but a good defensive back play by Alessia Stoikos breaks it up. Ishmael though, Vakari right back on it. Round the back of the net she goes. Sets it up for Sandilands. Trying to set it towards the net. Goes off of the backside of Rhea Flint. Now around the boards it goes. Going to be picked up here. Behind the net by Etobicoke. Grace Van Volsen out in front. Sandilands almost got the one-timer off. Now a shot coming. Loose puck in front. Samantha Whittle falling on top of it. She will hold for a face-off as the Dolphins, 2 minutes and 28 seconds into the second, Chris, are not letting off the gas pedal one bit.
Yeah, if you're Etobicoke, you love that sequence. Seeing Piggott out there, Bertelson, Sandilands look great out there. A couple of really, really solid scoring opportunities there. Now we're in the offensive zone. Let's see if they can capitalize on this.
And now Grace Van Volsen going to be asked to step out of the face-off dot. But now the relief face-off taker, Riley Sorokin, able to win the face-off, but now she's being pressured here by Elizabeth Buckley to make a turnover. Van Volsen trying to drive it towards the net, going to be stripped of the puck by Elizabeth Janowski. Now it's Vakari chipping it off the glass and back down low. Around the back of the Central York net. Janowski, look out, bad turnover in front, a chance for the Dolphins to get it on goal. Unfortunately, not able to get a clean stick on that with Skylar Rushpler. Sent up the right-hand side. And now turnover by Etobicoke creates a chance for Esther Brooks. Nice little toe drag move around the defender, Taylor Scott. Esther Brooks to the line for Cote. Cote waits and shoots, deflected in front. It's loose in front. St. Pierre trying to find it, but it's going to be moved out by Rushpler. And now up the left wing, a chance for Adriana Milani. Milani driving there on the backhand. Save made by Whittle. And no rebound surrendered as she will hold for a faceoff with 3.5 gone in the second period. And again, there's that speed, Chris, of Adriana Milani that makes her so dangerous to play against.
Yeah, absolutely. Clearing out that puck in front of the net absolutely led to that great scoring chance. But what we're seeing right now is the Etobicoke Dolphins are finally getting comfortable with their defensive approach and getting some really, really good looks offensively.
Here comes Central York the other way. A wrister coming from Zoe Lee. That one deflecting off of a defender and just wide of the net. As now going to be sent back out by Etobicoke. Beauchamp trying to push it up the left wing as she does, but now it's going to be moved back out again, courtesy of Ashley Miner. Now driving the middle, Van Berkel hooked clean as a whistle there, and that is going to be a penalty against Etobicoke. As Van Berkel literally spun inside out with the hook, and that will send Central York to their fourth power play of the afternoon, and that's just one of those penalties you can't really afford to take, as it looks like it's going to be Fiona Waddick, and that is the right call from the official. Got the hook right in the waist and spun her opponent inside out.
Yeah, and especially when you contrast today's game against the Central York and yesterday's game against the Burlington Barracudas, Etobicoke is really, really frustrated right now, and that's a sign of what Central York is being able to do offensively and defensively in this game thus far.
And should note that Etobicoke is the second least penalized team in the league with only 114 penalty minutes, while Central York is the sixth most penalized with 178 entering action today. Coming out of her net to play it is Whittle. She'll rim it around the boards, and now going to be picked up on the left side for Avery Johnston. 30 seconds left in the fourth power play of the afternoon here for Central York. A chance to tie the game again. Cote trying to set it up the right side, nearly intercepted there by Ishmael as she's going to try and battle Johnson for the puck, and it's sent back down on a nice play by Sydney Sawyer. Whittle way out of her net to play it. Almost coughed it up to Beauchamp, but she gets it safely to the captain, Cheyenne DeGear. DeGear pace it across the line, cuts to the right side with 1:05 left in the power play. Around the back of the net, all tied up here with Sawyer. DeGear surveying her options in front. Johnson wants the one-timer. but DeGear shrugs it off, gets it in front. Johnston trying to tap into the net. She scores! Another power play goal for Central York. Both goals coming on the power play. This time it's Avery Johnston with her third power play goal of the season, and the Panthers have tied it yet again.
Yeah, and if you're Etobicoke, you have to be frustrated with that. This period has been all them, and they did not. I mean, getting that power or that penalty against them, that really hurt them. And then obviously now it's a tie game, right? This is 2 power play goals in this game. Absolutely tough to digest.
5th of the season for Avery Johnston. 3 of her 5 goals coming on the power play here this season. But here's Bertelson trying to change the lead again as she takes a shot, but it's redirected off the stick of Terry Wang and out of play. It's now tied up at 2 as both teams trading goals. Etobicoke has had the lead twice now, but unfortunately, their penalties coming back to haunt them as the Panthers now 2 for 4 on the power play. You got to imagine Joe Butkovich's message on the bench is going to be, let's calm down, ladies. We can't afford to take any more penalties because Central York, both their goals have come here on special teams. Battle for the puck on the right-hand side. Zoe Lee trying to keep it in, and a big hit along the boards. Lee sent flying by Rachel Piggott, and a penalty is coming to Etobicoke. Another undisciplined penalty for the Dolphins, and they're going to head to their 5th penalty kill of the afternoon. But on the delayed penalty, Abigail Pack trying to send it in. Zoe Lee on the delayed penalty sending it across just out of the reach of Annabella Van Berkel, who drew that hooking call, resulting in a power play goal, now touched up by the Dolphins, and another power play is coming up for Central York. Interference is going to be called against the Minnesota Golden Gopher, Rachel Piggott.
Yeah, and one thing that we have to be paying attention to here is in the last goal, Etobicoke collapsed down low, and they need to start challenging those lanes. If they're not challenging those lanes, we're going to have another goal in this, so keep an eye on that.
If you're a Dolphins fan, you hope that's not the case. They start this penalty kill by picking it up. It's thrown off the boards by Megan Mossy, and she's able to get it out at the line just barely. Alford in front of the scorekeeper's area, but now it's brought back in by Central York. Williams starting the play. On the right side, though, Etobicoke picking it off. Riley Sorokin firing it up the wing, trying to get it deep, but it's picked off now by Mackenzie Cote, who throws it across. Feigning on her clearance is Avery Johnston, who picked up the most recent goal to tie the game. Can Central York maybe grab their first lead of the afternoon? Fiona Waddick at the center circle, firing it back in with 40 seconds gone in Central York's power play. Again, they are 2 for 4 on the advantage. Looking to make all 3 of their goals coming on the power play. Let's see if that happens. Abigail Pack, though, losing possession of the puck on a nice play by Sydney Sawyer. Now on the right side, Stoikos trying to jump the line, but jumped without the puck. A minute left in the power play for the Panthers. Puck's high in the air, pulled out now by Emma Beauchamp. Beauchamp wheeling into the zone, looking to take it in on her own, wheeling around the defender, almost got the step towards the net, but Minor with a good shot down there. Beauchamp with 3 power play goals on the year has not scored shorthanded, only 2 shorthanded goals for Etobicoke this season. Coming off of the sticks of Ava Wood, who's out of the lineup this afternoon, and Sydney Sawyer, the only active shorthanded goal scorer in the lineup today, as offside going to be called here against the Panthers with 32 seconds left to go in the power play for Central York.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, if you're Central York, you're probably a little bit frustrated with just how they've been unable to set up anything in the offensive zone consistently. For Etobicoke, they've been looking all right, but let's see how this unfolds here.
Esther Brooks with a couple of windmill moves, and from both knees shooting, that one just went wide over top of the head of Maya St. Pierre. And now Etobicoke turning it over at the line. An opportunity, a pass out in front as Elizabeth Janoski could not get the redirected front. 10 seconds left in the power play for Central York. Here's Janoski with a shot. That's blocked by her own teammate and immediately sent down the ice by Etobicoke, and that will end the power play for the Panthers. They are now 2 for 5. We're back to even strength with 8 minutes gone here in period number 2. Back at center, nice spring forward pass brought in by Rushler, but offside. Called by the linesperson, and that'll bring a stoppage with 11:51 to go in the second. Wasn't the cleanest penalty kill for Etobicoke, but they do kill off the penalties, so you gotta imagine that Joe Butkovich thankful that his team not surrendering another goal for their first deficit of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and we saw at the end of that power play or that penalty kill for Etobicoke exactly what they need to be doing, getting the lanes, block the shots. That's what they did, help to kill the penalty.
Here's Annabella Van Berkel trying to move it out for the Panthers. Sending it into the corner. She toe picks and falls down hard into the corner, but pops right back up to her feet. Battle for the puck along the right-hand boards, really digging in at it. There was Zoe Lee, but now the Dolphins able to clear it back just across the blue line. St. Pierre coming out of her goal. Trying to battle for the puck. Nice pick up there by Taylor Scott. Finds it to the right-hand side for Ishmael. High flipper pass picked off there by Johnston. She'll send it back in. But delayed offside against Central York will force them back to center. Dolphins can possibly take advantage of this. Let's see if Sophia Ishmael can start the rush. She elects to drop it off for Venucio. Her pass in the middle, picked off though by Mackenzie Cote, who throws it back in. Now it's going to be DeGear going hard into the corner, trying to get to that puck first, but Taylor Scott with a good hustle. Piggott around the back of the net. Almost got spun around there by DeGear. Now moved out by Etobicoke. Sent up the wing. Ishmael gets a step around Clements, but it's going to be beaten to the puck first, though, by Mackenzie Cote, approaching the halfway point of regulation, with the game now tied at 2, courtesy of a power play goal from Avery Johnston. Now at the line, here's the aforementioned Johnston, looking for her second of the afternoon. Mamaia St. Pierre with a stop at the top of the crease, and she will freeze for a face-off. 10:21 remaining in the second. Lone goal of this period, Avery Johnston on the power play for her third power play goal of the season, tying this game back up at 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're Central York, you're incredibly excited about how they're approaching this. Such aggressive forecheck. Their back check is also great.
Here's Grace Van Volsen on a partial breakaway. Save made by Whittle, and does not give up the 5-hole like she did on the Ishmael goal back in the first period. Good stop by Whittle. Another shot coming from Grace Van Volsen, but again Whittle with the stop making the save. And there's the hustle from Grace Van Volsen, which is the reason why Providence College got her to sign a commitment letter to NCAA hockey. Great burst of speed, but Whittle probably with one of her best saves of the game.
Absolutely. Van Volsen looked great on that, but only thing that looked better than that was that save by Whittle. Absolutely incredible.
Face off to the right of Whittle with 10:04 to go in the second period. Grace Van Volsen trying to dig at it. Contesting there with Kira Johnston. Now thrown off the right-hand side and way over top of the net. Sent through the middle, Fiona Waddock with a good pick off to get it away from Stoikos. Sorokin trying to bring it across the line. Stoikos can't strip her off the puck. Sorokin with a couple of nice moves, but it's going to lose it on the last windmill move on a good defensive shutdown play by Clara Liu. Fired back in now by Johnson, who gets tripped coming across the blue line. Luckily not a penalty against Etobicoke. Dolphins trying to move it out. It's Mossy. Wheeling through the middle, Janowski blows a tire. Mossy looking to take advantage. Mossy with a power move up the right side, but can't get it towards the net. Now comes back to the line. Sadie Sandilands can't hold it in. 2-on-1 Central York. Here comes Amber Esterbrook's partial break. Glove save by St. Pierre. And she will hold her best save of the afternoon with the leather larceny on Amber Esterbrook's.
Yeah, breakaway there. What a read on that play. Read it the whole way. Sound positioning by St. Pierre. Made it look easy with that glove save.
9:10 left to go in the second period of play. Tied at 2s between the Panthers and the Dolphins. And now Buckley going to be asked to step out of the faceoff dot. Here comes Amber Esterbrook's, commit of the University of Windsor. Battle for the puck along the near corner as they continue to dig. Janowski trying to shoot from a knee, but St. Pierre making the save, and she will hold on for yet another faceoff with 8:58 to go now in the second period. A decent crowd on hand here at the Ford Performance Center. It's been a busy weekend for Etobicoke hockey. Dolphins organization in action all weekend long, including the junior Dolphins, who are looking to make it another week sweep, trying to go 3 for 3, picking up 2 of those 3 wins against Central York. But the Panthers not making it easy here this afternoon, and you kind of had to expect that after that 6-1 shellacking on Wednesday. Here's a beautiful move by Ishmael with a player to the net, and it's sent wide. What a beautiful opportunity for Mia Venucio. Right through the middle, gets a fantastic pass. Or pardon me, that actually looks like it was Rushpler who was rushing the net. Got the redirect, but unfortunately missed the net on a great play by Sophia Ishmael. Now it's played up the right-hand side. One-on-one is Cheyenne DeGear with a nice little skyward pass to herself. Trying to chase it down, but now it's going to be picked up by Taylor Scott. 8:10 to go in the second. Here comes Rachel Piggott. Through the middle she comes. Piggott across the line. Taking a shot towards the goal. Pushed away by the right pad of Whittle. Around the back of the net goes Piggott. Looking for options. Taylor Scott's wide open. Might have thought of taking the shot, but unfortunately spun herself inside out, and now to force a turnover and a chance for the Panthers to move it ahead. Having a hard time doing so, but now a pass by DeGear sent it into the zone as Avery Johnson looks to chase it down, the most recent goal scorer here in this one. And now picked up by Etobicoke. They'll move it out. Riley Sorokin with speed, the Princeton commit. Sorokin with speed, beautiful move through the middle. Trying to find it now. She'll go into the corner, but it's going to be sandwiched off the puck. Put back to center. Picked up by Mossy. Goes the back of the blue line. Sorokin almost brought it in onside. Now Vakari's onside into the zone. Vakari backhands it. Back behind the net, but Cote there to cut it off. Sets it up for Amy Clements. 7 1/4 remaining in the second period. Still tied at 2. Going to the left-hand side. Now picked up by Beauchamp. Through the middle, Grace Van Volsen powering through the middle. Here's Van Volsen. Recollects. Redirect score! Emma Beauchamp on a great effort from Grace Van Volsen, and the Dolphins, for the third time today, have the lead back. It's 3-2.
Yeah, and you saw this one coming. The past few sequences at this point for Etobicoke have looked fantastic. They've looked so much better. This is exactly the kind of play that they're used to. This is exactly what leads to those goals. And now we're up 3-2.
And Joe Butkovich going to go over to Van Volsen and give her a tap on the head, and deservingly so. What an effort from Van Volsen to set up Beauchamp, who was left alone enough in front to tap it home for her 13th goal of the season, and the Dolphins now get the lead back. But the question, Mr. Sinclair, can they hold the lead? That's the thing. They've had 3 one-goal leads in this game now. Turnover from Maloney, scores! Another bad turnover by the Panthers, and it's Adriana Maloney that catches in the first multi-goal lead for Etobicoke, and it's now 4-2 in the blink of an eye.
And Milani absolutely capitalized on that turnover, made it so quick, came out front, scored. Now we're up 4-2.
7th of the season for the Oakville native, Adriana Milani, and Steve Dempsey is going to call his timeout for the Panthers, and rightfully so. That is 2 very quick goals for Etobicoke here in the second to all of a sudden make it a 2-goal lead for the first time this afternoon. And again, Chris, this just comes off of great individual efforts. First, it was Grace Van Volsen who powered up the right side to almost get a partial break, but then she set it up for Beauchamp in front, and then Adriana Milani forcing the turnover going upstairs on Samantha Whittle. There's really nothing Whittle can do on that one. That's just a great effort from Milani, and Whittle's teammates unfortunately collapsing, leaving that lane to the open net. And give the Dolphins credit. They are clearly frustrated taking too many penalties, but at least the goal scoring is still there, and that's why they have the multi-goal lead for the first time today.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's a great point. Etobicoke could be sitting back here saying they're frustrated with the number of penalties they've taken, but they've really now turned things around, and now Central York is back on their heels, and Etobicoke has to be happy with how the last couple of sequences have gone.
So the timeout called by Steve Dempsey of the Central York Panthers, but now the question is, can the Panthers battle back, facing their first 2-goal deficit of the afternoon? Beauchamp to take the draw against Kira Johnson. It's won by Etobicoke, and here they come. It's Rushbler into the zone. Toe drag! Oh my goodness! Off the crossbar, are you kidding me? How crazy would that have been for Etobicoke right off of the Central York timeout to score their Rushbler, though, hitting the corner bar and out. Oh my goodness.
But that's exactly what Joe is saying on the bench. Keep up with this aggressive play. You can't let it off the pedal. And that's what they were doing earlier in this game. Now they're not.
Face-off won by the Panthers, who have collapsed defensively here in the latter stages of the second period. A much different looking Central York team than what we saw back in the first and early stages of this second period. Great hustle back from Adriana Milani to strip the puck off of Esther Brooks. What a second period from Adriana Milani, and being rewarded with a goal in this period. Now it's picked up by Rhea Flint, trying to fight off of the Etobicoke forecheck. Comes to the right-hand side, picked up and flung back to center by Erica Buckley. But back in her zone to get it, Sadie Sandilands just escaping Esther Brooks. Now sent up the left wing, Flint. Trying to send it back to the middle, Ishmael. Couple bodies colliding there as Essex ran into Sadie Sandilands. They continue to jockey for the puck. Van Berkel gets away from Ishmael but can't get away from Sawyer. So she'll send it down low, hoping Zoe Liu gets there. Bad turnover. Shot by Cote. Blocker save made by St. Pierre. And again, that's Zoe Lee that made that play. All started off the turnover, and then Cote got a great shot, but good stop from the Sault Ste. Marie's Maya St. Pierre. Whittle Avernette to play a lookout. Gets bumped into there by Rachel Pickett, bracing for the hit. No arm in the air, so play carries on. Whittle looked like she initiated the contact there with Pickett, who was just bracing for the hit, trying to chase after the puck. Comes to the left-hand boards as Etobicoke trying to get set up again with 5 minutes to go in period 2. And play going to be whistled down on the hand pass with an even 5 to go in the second. Avery Johnson opened the scoring on the power play for Central York, but then 2 unanswered goals from Etobicoke. First it was Emma Beauchamp, then it was Adriana Milani to make it a 4-2 Dolphins lead.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, once again, if you're Etobicoke, you can see Bukovic on the bench there, just making sure that everyone's on the same page, making sure that they stay aggressive on this. Don't let the foot off the pedal. The period's coming to an end. Let's keep it up.
And that's why he's one of the best coaches in women's hockey overall, and that's why he led Team Ontario to the U18 National Championship in New Brunswick this past weekend. Up the middle, redirected by Piggott. Getting it up the right-hand side. Not going to have enough for icing as this one's going to stop just shy of the hash marks in the face-off circle back in the Central York end. Now pushed up the right wing by DeGear. St. Pierre coming out of her net to play it. She'll drop it off there for Scott. He runs into her opponent down low behind the net. Picked up now by Clara Williams. Sends it back behind the net for DeGear. DeGear's been dangerous all game long. Could have had 2 goals if she wasn't denied on the penalty shot earlier in this period. Spins along the right-hand boards. DeGear with the puck on a string, trying to escape the defensive efforts from Etobicoke. DeGear with a great effort of her own, but it's going to be sent back down by Etobicoke, and no icing will get them a change finally. Terry Wayne up the right wing, off the stick of Stoikos, but now picked up by Abigail Pack. Pack in the corner. Little drop-off pass, sets it up there for Kira Johnson. Around the back of the net, bounces off of a stick. Now a sharp angle shot by Flint, looking for the rebound, but St. Pierre covers up with 3:35 to go in the second, and a face-off will come to the left of St. Pierre. Again, Chris, we talked about DeGear all game long, winning a gold medal for Team Ontario right at the U18s in New Brunswick. She has been all over the ice here this afternoon.
Absolutely, she has. She's made it look so fun out there. She's so quick. She has great skills as well.
Here's Van Volsen again on a partial break. Van Volsen in towards the net, and Whittle denies her yet again with the right pad. Van Volsen, that is twice now in the latter half of this period with partial breaks. Now here's a shot from Megan Mossy. That one just deflecting off the stick of Fakari and wide of the net. Boy, Etobicoke buzzing here in the second period, scoring 2 unanswered, and they almost made it a 3-goal lead. Mossy back in her own zone, approaching 3 minutes left in the period. As Central York with a bit of a sloppy change will open up a lane here for Mossy. Cutting through the middle, sent that one just wide. That one caught Whittle by surprise. Didn't really make the effort to make the save, but luckily Mossy just missed. Battle for it, just shy of the Dolphins' door to the bench. Esther Brooks redirecting it back to the blue line, and now she's got a pick off the stick of Sawyer towards the net. Big toe save by Maya St. Pierre. What a stop from the Sioux native. Now back into the corner. Sadie Sandilands chipping it high off the glass. Sawyer finds it, pushing to the boards by Janowski. Not enough to take her off the puck. Beautiful pass up the wing now for Rushpler. Rushpler trying to rush into the zone. She's got Beauchamp going to the net. Goes down into the corner. Rushpler being tied up there by Ashley Miner. 2:15 to go in the second. Puck comes into the slot. Picked up and spun around by Beauchamp. Finds a lane through the middle. Beautiful toe drag. Pass to the right-hand side. It goes underneath of the collapsed body of Rushpler, and that'll open up a chance for Central York the other way. Zoe Lee, beautiful toe drag move. Also almost got around Sandy Sandilands, but lost it on the backhand try. Now here's a shot by a falling Van Berkel, and she scores! Annabella Van Berkel did not give up on the play. She shot it while falling to the ice. A la Bobby Orr, and Central York now down by 1.
Wow, did not see that coming. That was such a great drive. It really did start in the for Central York's defensive zone. Really great plays there, and then that transition again. When you play great defense, that leads to great offense, and we just saw it right there.
What a wild period this has been. An absolutely wild frame as Central York scored a power play goal earlier in the period. Etobicoke then scoring 2 unanswered, but now a huge response from Central York, courtesy of Annabella Van Berkel's 4th goal of the season. But now can they get the next one to tie it again? Here's Bertelsen! Looking to change my statement there as she almost got the 2-goal lead back, but she is denied by Samantha Whittle.
Yeah, and you have to, like, when you get scored against, the next sequence you get out there, drop the puck, be aggressive. That's what you want to see from the players.
Face off to the right of Whittle. Rachel Pickett to take this draw, and Annabella Van Berkel is going to be asked to step out. So now here comes Zoe Lee, a commit to Brown University. Face off won by the Dolphins. Here's a bouncing shot towards the net. Whittle had a bit of difficulty playing it. Lee tied up behind the net there. And now it's going to be cleared back out. Here they come. It's sent back in. Actually looks like I'm seeing it. Rushler on the ice. Looks like she's wearing Ava Wood's jersey here this afternoon. I'm not sure who the other player is for Etobicoke. Hopefully we get an answer at the intermission. But it's going to be played back up the right-hand side as Venucio will come back into her zone. Venucio only behind the net. A Dolphin taken down behind the net. Dolphins wanted a call, don't get one. Here's Rushler trying to get a stepper on Clements. Whittle way out of her net. And now Rushler's gone and centers in front. Bertelsen! That one is blocked by Cheyenne DeGear. What a sequence that was. Shot for the line by Mossy in the final minute. That one's blocked. It cleared out by Stoikos. What a chaotic period this has been. And it's not over yet. DeGear and Mossy collide. Battle for the puck in the corner. Picked up by the Dolphins. They look to clear it out. Van Volsen chipping it off the boards, trying to go in again all by herself. Van Volsen with a great effort here on this shift. 30 seconds left in the period. Battle for the puck along the left-hand boards. Tied up just out of our perspective at the line. Fiona Waddick with a good hold. Backhands it down into the corner with 20 seconds left in the period. Bakari to Sorokin now from the top of the slot. Trying to send it towards the net, but Whittle broke that up with a nice quick little poke check. Around the back of the net it goes with 10 seconds left in the period. One last chance for the Dolphins. Sorokin tied up along the boards here. They'll continue to tie it up, and that'll do it for the second period as the buzzer sounds for a very chaotic period as the Panthers open the scoring in this frame on a power play marker from Avery Johnston, but then 2 unanswered goals courtesy of Emma Beauchamp and Adriana Milani made it a 4-2 lead. But the most recent goal scorer, Annabella Van Berkel, bringing the Panthers back to within 1 after a frantic second frame here in Etobicoke.
Yeah, I think you encapsulated it perfectly there. I think, too, as well, like when you're from a Central York's perspective, you have to be happy. Obviously, a couple of power play goals there. That's really been a big difference maker in this game, obviously. And from Etobicoke, you saw their inconsistency with being able to be as aggressive and defensive as they're used to, as we saw in yesterday's game. This is a very different kind of game for them. I think they're seeing a little bit more. They're a little bit more frustrated. Central York is really coming at them. Finished that period really strong.
Second period in the books. It's a 4-3 lead for Etobicoke after 40 minutes. We'll be back with the third period. You're watching Dolphins hockey on YouTube Live. Welcome back inside the Ford Performance Center. Thomas Mercier, Chris Sinclair getting ready for period number 3 between Central York and Etobicoke. An exciting second period in the books, featuring 2 goals per side. First, there was Avery Johnson on the power play from Van Berkel and De Geer to tie the game back up at 2 goals apiece, but then 2 unanswered goals in very quick succession from Etobicoke. First, it was Beauchamp from Van Volsen, then Adriana Milani from Ryland Haslam, who we found out is wearing number 41 this afternoon. But then Central York getting a big one back. Anna Van Berkel with a gorgeous diving goal from Zoe Lee to make it a 1-goal deficit for Central York. Shots on goal in the second period, 15-10 in favor of the Dolphins for a 2-period total of 26-17. Mr. Sinclair, kind of imagine the Panthers trying to change up their game style going into period 3. What can we expect from Central York to try and battle back?
Yeah, I think what they're going to be looking at doing at this point is continuing their aggressive forecheck. When their forecheck is super aggressive, that's when we've seen that success, and that's what's led to Etobicoke being so frustrated, taking those penalties, and then obviously we've seen how successful Central York has been on the power play.
So it looks like we're almost ready to go here for the third period of play as Central York trying to battle back from a deficit. Once again, they've trailed by as much as 2 thanks to those quick goals from Beauchamp and Milani back-to-back. Then they almost made it 3 unanswered when they hit the crossbar post-timeout. So we'll see what the third period has to offer. Buckle up your seatbelts. Final regulation period underway from Etobicoke. Glad to have you with us on a Sunday afternoon as Etobicoke looking for the 3-3 sweep on the week. Pass with middle intended for Williams. Now she gets it on a turnover off the stick of Mia Venucio. Thrown behind the net now, trying to set it up. De Geer to the front of the net. Bouncing puck as the Dolphins, with a bit of a dangerous play in their own end, now picked up and moved out by Grace Van Volsen, who has had opportunity after opportunity to score on partial breaks. She does have an assist in the game, though, assisting on that Emma Beauchamp goal thanks to her efforts. Here's Sophia Ishmael. Now playing it ahead. Haslam trying to drive the net. She's taken down behind the goal. Play carrying on. That was Avery Johnston with the takedown on Haslam, who's going straight to the bench. A good shift, though, from Ryland Haslam to start off this period. Also a commit, as I mentioned, of St. Lawrence University alongside, imagine, soon-to-be teammate Cheyenne De Geer. Now here's Mossy with a drive of a shot. That one just missing the net wide. Picked up now by Clara Liu through the middle, bouncing off of a skate. Now it was Bertelson, one-on-one into the zone. Lexi Bertelson cutting up the right-hand side, trying to send it towards the goal. That one redirecting off the skate of Kira Johnson. Now it's Liu, chipping it off the boards. Not enough to get out, though, as we're a minute and a half deep into period number 3. Picked up at center by Annabella Van Berkel, who scored that gorgeous goal back in the second period. Trying to cut up the left-hand side. Tried to throw it behind the goal there as it's tied up. And Berkel couldn't get it behind the goal, so now the Dolphins looking to clear it out of the zone, and they will do just that as it's sent down the left-hand side. Ashley Miner back to get it. Across she goes for Liu. Liu looking up ahead. Long stretch pass well out of the reach of Van Berkel. This is going to be icing against Central York as we are a minute and 58 deep into period 2, and a face-off coming all the way back in the Central York zone. Not a bad start for either side. No real quality opportunities yet for a shot to come, but got to imagine neither team wants to make the next mistake that could lead to either a 2-goal advantage or a tied hockey game at 4 apiece. Face-off won by Etobicoke. Quick shot, stick save made by Whittle, who has had a solid bounce back since the early stages of that second period. She's had to make a couple really tough saves as her team being outshot by quite a lot. But now here comes De Geer on a one-on-one rush into the zone, trying to get a shot up at Sadie Sandilands. Capped away an open lane for her, and now the puck, or the play being blown dead as the net coming off of its moorings after Sandilands and De Geer went hard into the net, and that will bring a face-off within the Dolphin zone. And again, Chris, we can't stop talking about her. Cheyenne De Geer's just all over the ice here this afternoon. Got to imagine one of the stars of the game.
I would imagine so, although on that play I would have wanted to see her shoot the puck just a little bit harder. She has a real knack to scoring goals. That was a real missed opportunity for her.
Scored her 10th of the season on the power play back in the first period, and it was also her 3rd power play goal of the year. Played at the line, but the Dolphins can't bring it onside. So now it's going to be picked up and thrown back in by Venucio. Looking to chase after it. Adriana Milani the most recent goal scorer for Etobicoke back in the second period, which had 6:45 left in the frame. Battle for the puck on the right wing, taken up by Amber Estabrooks, the soon-to-be Windsor Lancer, trying to wheel through the middle, collides there with Venucio. Good job by Venucio standing her ground at the blue line. She's got it now, up the wing. That's just out of the reach there of Rushplur, who is wearing number 9. No Ava Wood again for Etobicoke this afternoon. Rushplur wearing number 9, and Ryland Haslam wearing number 41 as opposed to her usual number 2, as Maya St. Pierre going to cover up for a faceoff. Really nice play there from Venucio, standing up on Estabrooks, who was crossing the line. Venucio's had some really good shifts this afternoon.
Yeah, she absolutely has, and I think what we're seeing in this game, as we've mentioned before, Central York, obviously they didn't necessarily have the game they wanted to the last time they played the Dolphins. Now they're saying, hey, listen, you walked all over us the last time, you're not going to do it again today.
Up the wing with some speed, Sorokin, Curlin Todrick falling, taking a shot, and that one turned away by Whittle. Ugly collision there along the boards as DeGear and Sorokin went hard into the boards. Now here's Sorokin looking back into the slot, bouncing up in the air. They continue to try and take for it. Sorokin had her stick lifted there on a good hustle by DeGear. Now she's trying to come the other way. She'll fire it into the zone and she'll chase after DeGear, throwing it towards the goal. St. Pierre pushes it away. DeGear trying to fight for possession of the puck all over Fiona Waddick there, who then takes a cross check to her back. And DeGear's going to head straight off for a change. Now, nice play there by a stickless Alessia Stoikos, who was trying to play the puck, but lost her stick. And now a penalty is coming to Central York as Mossy tripped up at center. There's a stick on the ice that's still the stick of Stoikos that has taken a full circle lap at the center ice logo. She was trying to grab it and then had it unintentionally kicked away, and the stick literally went right around the rosy, around the center circle. But positive news for Etobicoke is they're going on the power play, as Ashley Miner is going to pick up a tripping minor with 15:44 to go in the third.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's see in this case how Etobicoke responds. Obviously, we've seen the success that Central York has had on the power play. Can Etobicoke do the same?
0 for 2 on the power play are the Dolphins. They have 18 power play goals all season long. It's rimmed around the boards. Sophia Ishmael trying to get it down low, and now another penalty is coming to Central York as a stick went up high on a Dolphins player, and it will be touched by the Panthers, and now it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for the first time this afternoon for the Dolphins. And it looks like it's going to be a head contact penalty. This time it's going to be against Amy Clements, who did get the stick up into the head of her opponent unintentionally, but it is a penalty regardless, and now it's a 5-on-3 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and 5-on-3 for almost a full 2 minutes. That's going to be huge for Etobicoke. Let's see how they do.
Minute 42, 5-on-3 as a matter of fact, and the face-off won by the Finns. Sawyer across, gets the return free. Sawyer shoots. That one is blocked off the feet from Sandilands. Sawyer getting the pass back, gets it over to Sadie Sandilands, the soon-to-be Maine Black Bear. Now to Sawyer, top of the slot, gets it back over. Sandilands into the corner, one-time shot. Unable to get all of that one was Lexi Bertelson as she was trying to go for that one-timer up high, but unfortunately Finn on the opportunity and Whittle with the easy save.
Yeah, great puck movement from the Dolphins on that power play there. Whittle, though, she read it, so there we go.
And it looks like Joe Bukovich is going to use his timeout. And a good option here from him to get his ladies all reset, with still a minute 21 left in this 5-on-3 power play, which had its couple of opportunities, but obviously Joe Bukovich wants to draw up a strategy here with heavy offensive zone pressure to get that 2-goal lead back.
Absolutely, especially with, at least about a minute and a half left of power play of 5-on-3. What he's going to be looking at doing is, we saw how great they were in that last sequence with their puck movement. What he wants to do is keep that puck movement going. That's how they're going to be able to get Whittle moving side to side. That's how you're going to score a goal.
And again, Whittle has bounced back nicely since the early stages of the second period. Despite giving up 2 unanswered that really weren't her fault all to begin with, she has looked solid. Without her, this game could have gotten out of control in a hurry. Face off to her right, and immediately she's covering the puck. Did not like what she saw there, because Etobicoke, unsurprisingly, Chris crashing the net, and Whittle taking the game in her own hands.
Exactly, and that's exactly what he's looking at doing. Again, puck movement, be aggressive on that forecheck.
Face off one again by Etobicoke. Sawyer backhand pass, nicely picked off by Cheyenne DeGear. I think this is about the 1,000th time we said her name because she has been involved in every single play today. And now here come the Dolphins with a minute left in the 5-on-3. Sawyer crossed the line, trying to get a power play goal on the board for Etobicoke. They've given up 2 power play goals. Can they get one of their own? Ishmael off the pass from Sawyer, trying to drive the net, pass in the middle, backhand opportunity there for Bertelson is blocked by DeGear. She pushes it out, and now here's Liu trying to go on a partial break, one-on-one into the zone with Bertelson. Liu shoots, deflected by Bertelson, but stopped by St. Pierre. And now the Dolphins the other way. Right side, Beauchamp with 1 on the game. Beauchamp cutting through the middle, shoots, save made by Whittle. Sandilands back behind the net for Beauchamp. Getting it to the top of the slot, Scott shot, and a stop made by Whittle on the glove. And the puck fired back down by Central York with 20 seconds left on the 5-on-3. Beauchamp with so much room got a shot off, but another great stop by Samantha Whittle. Speaking of Whittle, the power play starting to whittle down here for the Dolphins. 5 seconds left in the 5-on-3, and now they're going to be offside as Milani jumped the line too soon. What a great penalty kill again from this Panthers team. And it's all courtesy of 2 likely names to be called, Samantha Whittle and Cheyenne DeGear.
Yeah, that's the thing, is DeGear has looked great, and what's great about her is she isn't one-dimensional. She isn't just a great goal scorer, she's also great on defense.
Now it's a 5-on-4 for the next 15 seconds. Etobicoke looking to avoid being 0 for 4 on the advantage. Here's Scott with a drive from the line, and again a great glove save by Whittle. Man, she has bounced back big time in this third period. Looking to avoid being in a bigger hole. She has really stepped it up here in period 3.
Absolutely. This was a huge opportunity for Etobicoke to go up, get that 2-goal lead, and it's Whittle that's really helped that out.
Face-off won by the Dolphins. Last chance on this power play, which has 5 seconds left. They are not going to score, so the Dolphins are now 0 for 4 on the power play, and a massive 5-on-3 killed off by Central York. Of course, keep in mind, Etobicoke was in a 5-on-3 disadvantage back in the first period, and they killed that off. So now 2 5-on-3s, 1 for either side, have been killed off. Comes to the left-hand boards back in the Etobicoke zone. They clear it just barely to center. It's picked up by Terry Wang. Wang flinging it towards the net. St. Pierre going to safely play it, but look out. Esther Brooks nearly beat Taylor Scott to the puck there. But luckily she had her head up, and now a bad turnover by Venucio, opening up a chance, and Amber Esterbrook's almost got that one-timer right in the middle of the hash marks at the slot. Milani getting it up ahead now, pushed in by the Dolphins. Can they get the 2-goal lead back? It's Rylan Haslam in the corner. She spun around, picked up though by Rushpler. Rushpler trying to fight off, and now comes back to center as Waddick having her retreat back. Waddick quickly ahead, just out of the reach there of Rylan Haslam. She's trying to chase it down. Now comes to the right-hand side near corner. Etobicoke trying to get set up here after failing to cash in on a 5-on-3 power play, which now puts them at 0 for 4. Back to center it comes. Megan Mossy driving through, able to get around Abigail Pack. She cuts up the left-hand side. Good button hook move in the corner. Gets it to a wide-open Fiona Waddick, who winds up and fires. Deflected just wide off of the hip of Rylan Haslam. Mossy back at center. With 11:50 to go in regulation, Fiona Waddick jumps the line to the right side, drops off. Haslam waiting, shooting! Almost went top corner, but fired it just wide. Van Berkel failing to clear the zone, comes back behind the net, now going to be picked up by Clara Liu. Liu trying to get a clear out here for Central York, having some difficulty doing so. Sawyer almost held the line, but a delayed offside will get Central York back on possession, but not for long. Here's Beauchamp. Pass to the middle. Haslam on the trailer. Almost got the shot up, but that one was blocked. Taken back behind the net. Unable to make the play there. That looked like it was Sadie Sandilands, who has had a really good effort here this afternoon. Has a goal as well. Opened the scoring all the way back in the first period. Just over 3 minutes in. Now back at center. Unable to get a clean hold on it is Sawyer. Now driving in DeGear. Backdoor feed. What a sliding save. Maya St. Pierre, and the whistle blows early as the puck loose in the crease, with the official losing sight of the puck. DeGear with that beautiful cross crease pass. But what a stop by Maya St. Pierre to keep it a 4-3 Etobicoke lead.
We've talked about DeGear how many times in this broadcast so far, and she does it once again. earlier it was a couple of great defensive plays. That's another one of her incredible examples of how great she is offensively as well.
A lucky break for the Dolphins as, again, the official losing sight of the puck. And a lucky break for St. Pierre after that highlight reel save. De Geer unable to win the offensive zone draw for Central York. As Erica Buckley in there digging for the puck as well. 10:45 remaining in regulation. Dolphins up by just one if you're just joining us here at the FPC in Etobicoke. With speed, it's Adriana Milani. Cutting up the left wing, she can really fly. Into the zone she comes, cuts in towards the goal and takes the shot from inside the faceoff circle, but Whittle makes the stop and holds on. When Milani turns on the afterburner, she can really burn you, and she almost did that, but Whittle with another important save.
Absolutely, and we saw how effective she was yesterday in that game against Burlington. She did it again right there. Again, end-to-end action. She comes in so quick, read that play really well. Whittle, though, there we go again, once again, right? Difference maker in this period once again.
And now Panthers have coach Steve Dempsey chatting with the official here. I got to imagine it's after, in regards to the stoppage in play when St. Pierre didn't have clean coverage of the puck. Maybe just looking for a further explanation. And again, the official can't really see everything with all that mass of bodies in front. If that puck is loose and they can't see it, you have to pull the play dead. So, again, a tough break for Central York, but everyone kind of stopped, to be honest, so no one was able to poke it in. Nonetheless, play carries on with 10.5 to go in the third period. Panthers looking for the tying goal. Nice play at the line there by Elizabeth Janoski. She'll look to hunt it down. She goes hard into the boards with Mia Venucio. Big battle there, and it's the Panthers that still hold on to it. Buckley lost a handle on it, though, and now here's Adriana Milani again with speed up the right wing, trying to escape Esther Brooks, taking a shot from long distance, and way at the top of her crease making the save, though, is Whittle to push it aside. Halfway point of period 3, Panthers trailing by 1, sent down the ice. Could it be icing? Yes, just barely. What a race, though, between Amber Esterbrooks and I want to say that was Fiona Waddick just back checking in time and getting that icing call for Etobicoke, but that was very, very close. Could have gone either way.
Yeah, and I think right now, if you're Central York, you're probably a little bit frustrated based off the last play, getting blown a little bit quickly. You got to bounce back, forget about that, move on.
Face-off won by the Dolphins. Quick shot by Mossy. That one is blocked by Buckley, and that one hurt. She is favoring her leg, and she needs to get off, and she's going to do just that. But here's Mossy the other way with a shot pad save by Whittle. Puck ends up behind the net. Boy, hopefully Buckley's okay. Took that shot right off the inside of the knee, and you could hear it from up here. That had a lot of impact. Here's Clara Williams up the left wing. It's going to be touched up, so no icing here against the Panthers. Cutting in the corner with a nice little move there is Fiona Waddick. One of two Stonehill commits for the Dolphins alongside Spencer Vicari. At center, pushed up now by Ashley Miner, who picked up a penalty earlier in this period. High clearance there by Mossy to complete a change. Might be a breakaway for Ryland Haslam, but a good back check by Ashley Miner, keeping her at bay. Boy, that really could have gone either way as Haslam had that lane, staying on side, but again, a great back check there by Ashley Miner to keep Haslam from getting a partial breakaway. Sawyer at center, fires it back in onto the stick of Ashley Miner for Central York, now deflecting off the leg of Beauchamp and out of play, redirecting off of a light fixture, and that'll bring a stoppage with 8:40 to go in the third. But again, what a play there by Ashley Miner, as again a high quarterback pass up the middle would have sent Etobicoke on a partial break, but again, great defensive play that made there by Miner.
Yeah, and speaking of great defensive plays, Buckley out there as well. She was laboring a bit as she went off the ice. She's back on the bench. Everything's good there.
Puck thrown behind the net off the Etobicoke face-off win. Control now by Bertelson. Nice pass to Sawyer with a bit of an opening lane. Looking to send it towards the net, but went right through the legs of Stoikos and wide of the net. In the corner now, it's up in the air. Kira Johnson trying to go for it. Commit to Union College. They battle for it along the right-hand side, and now going to be picked up by Clement. Can she start the breakout? She'll find Stoikos to do that. And look out, a collision there at center between Beauchamp and Abigail Pack, and that's in Sawyer the other way, 1-on-2 into the zone. Wrister and Whittle way out of her net. Look behind her. She thought that would trickle through her 5-hole, but she does have it, and she will hold on. Whittle not afraid to come way out of her net to cover up that net as much as she can. Makes an easy stop.
Yeah, and you have to, from a Dolphins perspective, you have to be happy with how they bounce back after not capitalizing on that 5-on-3. They've been super aggressive on their forechecks.
8 minutes to go in the third period. Dolphins leading by 1. Currently standing so far as the game winner, Adriana Milani, with 6:45 left in the second. Currently standing as the winner right now, but still quite a bit of time here for Central York to make something happen. On the right side, it's Milani sending it to Piggott. Now she tries to throw it towards the net. That one is stopped by Whittle, and she will hold on as Fakari right in the blue paint, trying to maybe get a redirect in front, but she's taken away from the puck, and the faceoff will come to the left of Whittle. Faceoff to her left, and it is won by Central York. Behind the net goes Claire Essex. To the right side, finds Avery Johnston, who scored a power play goal back in the second period. Now Williams coming into the zone. She's going to contest here with Mia Venucio, but it's the Dolphins defender getting back in time. Now back to the middle it goes. Vakari gets run into there by Rhea Flint, fresh off of the bench, and fired back in by Central York. 7:10 to go in the third period now. Played into the corner. Dolphins can't clear the line as it's held in by Avery Johnston. And now gets it in front for Williams with a windmill move through the middle, but couldn't get the shot off after Venucio tested her. Comes loose to the right-hand side. Maya St. Pierre able to cover up. DeGear saying the puck was loose. But whistle blows the play. That was 6:57 to go in the third. The Panthers not going away quietly here, Chris, but you have to expect that. Trailing by 1 heading into this period.
Absolutely. A couple of sloppy exit zone plays there from Etobicoke, and Central York almost capitalized on a couple of them. Let's see what they do here.
Face off to the right of St. Pierre. It's controlled by the Panthers. A shot from the line by Flint off of her own teammate. That was Janoski that unintentionally blocked the shot. Now up the right wing trying to push that one in was Van Volsen, but stripped by Flint. Look out! A bad turnover in front, as it was nearly put in her own net by Terry Wayne, and then a couple of pushes being thrown after the whistle. But man, almost deja vu back to that first period goal by Sadie Sandilands, as a redirect nearly ended up in the back of the Panthers' net. Face off to the left of Whittle. And it's won by the Dolphins. Mossy nearly turned it over. Now she's got a chance to the middle. Mossy protecting on her backhand, throws it to the line for Waddick, trying to send it back down behind the net, but now it's going to be picked off and moved out by Miner. Ashley Miner's had a couple of good shifts in this third period. Here she comes into the zone now with 6:20 to go in regulation, but now picked off by Sorokin, who throws it to the opposite boards. Picked off, though, a chance here for Van Berkel with a shot, and that one is blocked by the big body defender, Megan Mossy. Flipped to the line just enough to get out. As Haslam now running into Clara Liu, which will open it up for the Panthers. Up the left wing, it's pushed. As Sawyer able to race back to get it. But now the Panthers trying to tie it up along the boards, trying to get set up offensively here as they continue to battle. Comes to the left-hand boards, sent back deeper into the zone by Lee, and now picked off by Cindy Sawyer. Dolphins looking to clear it out. Sorokin nearly turned it over in front of her own net. She'll bank it off the boards and gets it up to center. Nearly sent up Rylan Haslam there on a good bouncing play. And now it's brought in by Zoe Lee. Zoe Lee stopping up, taking a shot. That one just going wide of the net. Now it's Amber Esterbrooks. Nice poke check there by the Dolphins defense. Sadie Sandilands with a great play to break that up. And now the Panthers on a delayed offside have to leave the puck there. Pass back to the Central York blue line, but now it's going to be picked up by Janoski to the right side. Esterbrooks jumps the line, taking the shot. That one nowhere close to the net. Final 5 minutes of regulation with Central York down by 1. Centering feed out in front as Esterbrooks couldn't get a touch on it. Sent back down low by Terry Wayne. Played back in front. It's loose on the side. St. Pierre hugging the post. And then a late poke check by Janoski draws a reaction, but St. Pierre jumping on top of it with a save and a stoppage with 4:50 to go in the third period, officially now in crunch time for the Central York Panthers.
Yeah, and from a Central York perspective, again, you can't, they are not giving up on this game. They have not, we have 4:50 left in this game. They've not let their foot off the gas at all, and this is impressive.
Yeah, you have to give them credit after taking that 6-1 thumping at the hands of Etobicoke back on Wednesday. This is a much better, well-rounded effort from Central York. But the game is not over yet, especially with them trailing by 1. Cannot afford to give up 1. Because here comes Emma Beauchamp cutting hard into the corner. Beauchamp looking to get it out in front. Beauchamp with another beautiful move, trying to get around Essex. And now she's stripped of the puck. As Avery Johnson with a good play there. Played to the left side, it's Buckley. Pass to the middle, picked off at waist level by Ishmael, who drives the line. Sophia Ishmael driving hard, backhand pass out in front. Nearly set it up in front, but a good defensive play by Johnston broke that one up. Ishmael kept it alive in the zone for the moment, but now Piggott loses the handle on it. DeGear pushing through the middle. DeGear trying to drive into the zone. Picked up now by Clara Williams as Etobicoke calling for offside, did not get it. Pass to the left wing, Spencer Vakari. Trying to drive around the defender as she does. Vakari with a potential lane to the net. Now goes into the corner, getting it back down behind the goal. 3:40 to go in regulation with Central York still trailing by a goal. Mossy can't control it cleanly, now picked up by Waddick. Waddick across she goes. Vakari with a backhander, just able to get it between the benches. And now a penalty coming to the Dolphins as Cheyenne DeGear tripped on her way into the zone, and with 3:27 left in regulation, the Panthers are getting their 6th power play of the afternoon, and Fiona Waddick going to be sent off on the trip.
And what is DeGear not able to do? She's great on the defense, she's great on offense, and now she's also drawing penalties. It's incredible.
6th power play of the afternoon for Central York, and by far their most important power play of this hockey game, but Etobicoke with a great start sending it down the ice. Got to imagine that Steve Dempsey might be thinking about pulling the goaltender with his team on a power play this late in the contest. We'll see what happens. Played to the Etobicoke blue line, but it's sent back down by Sadie Sandilands. Whittle immediately drops it behind the net for Liu. Liu looks up ahead. 3 minutes left in regulation. 1:32 left in the power play for the Panthers. They're 6 of the afternoon. They are 2 for 5 on the advantage. But it's immediately thrown back out again by guess who? Sadie Sandilands. The University of Maine commit with another good defensive stoppage. Stoikos from behind her goal with 1:15 left in the power play. Stoikos looking to start the breakout to the left wing. Minor up the middle for Liu. Can't control it cleanly, now picked up by Lee. Lee to the right side. Clean line change for Central York. Brought in now by DeGear. DeGear drive in the middle. Stripped off the puck by Sorokin. She'll send it down the ice with 1 minute left in the power play. Whittle coming out of her goal to play it. Trying to send it up the left wing. Almost take the tape there for Zoe Lee, but couldn't connect on the pass, unfortunately, for Central York. Van Berkel with a good play at the line. 3/4 of a minute left to go in this power play. Cote from the high slot shoots. Nice pad save, St. Pierre. A last second reaction, and Van Volsen gets it out.
Yeah, absolutely. This is incredible, and one of the things that Etobicoke's doing great right now is standing up on the blue line, their own blue line, stopping them from really being able to set up.
25 seconds left on the power play for Central York. Van Berkel. Heavy pass on the middle. Picked out of the air on a nice play by Bertelsen. And now take it down at the line. There was Venucio, and the Dolphins wanted a penalty but didn't get one. Now sent back up. 2-on-2 into the zone. Here come the Panthers. It's Essex on the trailer. Her shot off at the top of the mesh and out of play with 8 seconds left in the power play for Central York. And should keep in mind, both teams using their timeouts earlier in the game. Whittle still in her net at the other end. Once this power play ends, might want to think about pulling the netminder for the extra attacker. Face off to the right of St. Pierre. Won by the Panthers. One shot before the end of the power play. That one just goes wide. And we're back to even strength. 2 for 6 are the Panthers now on the power play. Here's Waddick fresh out of the box. She gets taken down. No penalty as play carries on with 1:20 left in regulation. In the corner it goes. Panthers trying to tie it. Dolphins looking to hang on to sweep the week. Now here goes Buckley. Whittle starting to look to the bench, and she's going to get the call to the bench. There goes Whittle for the extra attacker. 6-on-5 as we're now in the final minute of regulation. Mossy button hooks back behind her net. Finds Sophia Ishmael. Wide open. It's Vakari at center. She has an open net to shoot at. She'll elect to play it for Beauchamp. Backhanded, bounce it to the corner. Now a battle and a couple of bodies flying all over the place. As losing her stick is Vakari, and now the Panthers the other way with 40 seconds left. Here comes Ashley Minor, drives the line, lost the handle on it, recollected by Clara Williams. Williams trying to get it to DeGear, and she does. Back behind the net now for Pack. Pack driving around the half wall to the line. Flynn with a shot, it's deflected, it's loose in front. DeGear trying to whack at it. Etobicoke trying to clear it out, and the stick of Beauchamp is slashed out of her hands, a no call. 15 seconds left in regulation. Dolphins looking to hang on, and it's going to be fired back down the ice. Will it have for icing? No. It's going to stop just shy of the faceoff circle, and that is going to do it. A turnover. Milani, open net, and a stop at the buzzer. They shoot and score at the empty net. It will not matter at the end of the day. It was after the buzzer, but regardless, it's a weak sweep for the Dolphins. Finns win. Finns win. The Dolphins win as they take down Central York here on a Sunday afternoon. Maya St. Pierre picking up her 4th win of the season, and the Dolphins have swept the week as they pick up a big win against Central York in a tight contest here at the Ford Performance Center.
Yeah, coming out and doing three sweep of this week has to feel great for Etobicoke. They played great today. They had to overcome some obstacles throughout the game, but they looked great. Persevered, came out on top, but also too, Central York played real well right up until the final buzzer. It's a fantastic game.
They are going to count the last second goal, by the way, so that is an empty netter for Etobicoke to seal the win late in the third period, even though the empty netter wouldn't have really made a difference. Etobicoke wins this one by a final of 5-3. Maya St. Pierre picking up her 4th win of the season, allowing 3 goals here this afternoon. A great effort all around for both sides. Central York really put up a tough fight throughout the third period, but unfortunately they fall short and fall to a record of 9-7, 0-1-2 on the year. Our next game will be back here next Sunday afternoon when the Etobicoke Dolphins welcome the East Ottawa Stars at town. Game time for that one at 12:15. Our next broadcast will be back here November 30th when the Dolphins host the Ottawa Lady 67s at 1:15 here from the Ford Performance Center. And then the following Sunday at 12:15, we'll take on the Nepean Wildcats. This has been a lot of fun to bring you here this afternoon as the Etobicoke Dolphins sweep the week, going 3 for 3, taking down Central York twice, and then picking up a big win against Burlington on Saturday afternoon to take over first place heading into the week. Chris, your final thoughts on a great week for the Etobicoke Dolphins?
Oh, there's so much to build upon. I mean, obviously they've had great success throughout the season, Etobicoke has, but at the end of the day, this has been a great week for them. They had a big win yesterday. I think, though, this game, they'll be able to look back on this and having to overcome what they had to overcome, persevere, don't let the opponents get anything going. I think this is something that you build upon, you grow from. It's been fantastic. What a weekend.
What a weekend indeed for Etobicoke. Chris, was a lot of fun this weekend. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. I'm sure it won't be the last time we talk to you, so thanks for coming down this weekend and joining us on the broadcast.
Absolutely. It's been my pleasure. I love this team, love this experience, and Thomas, thank you so much for all your support. You've been incredible. This has been such a blast.
Yeah, great to have you on, Chris. I'm sure it won't be the last time we have you on either. So once again, the final score here from Etobicoke, 5-3 in favor of the Dolphins as they take down the Central York Panthers in a big win and sweep the week, going 3 for 3 with back-to-back wins against the Panthers. Next time we'll talk to you, we'll be back here Saturday, November 30th, when the Dolphins take on the Ottawa Lady 67s. Until then, on behalf of Chris Sinclair and the entire Dolphins organization, this is Thomas Mercy signing off from the Ford Performance Center. Thank you so much for joining us all weekend long for another presentation of Dolphins hockey. We'll talk to you in 2 weeks' time. Good night from Etobicoke.